Well, hello there! Welcome back to the State of Play with Brandon Bales video blog. Today is the 25th of September. It is a Tuesday. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, kids. And I'm happy that we're back with Season 2. It's happening now, in case you didn't notice. We had an interview just posted last week with Derek Yu and Andy Hull of Mossmouth Games. I hope you enjoyed that interview if you watched it. If you didn't watch it, it's probably because you never heard of Spelunky, which is a crying shame. And I'll get more into that in a second. But gosh, it just feels so good to be back. It's been a while. This is definitely a passion project, and it definitely takes a lot of time to work with work with video and editing. So I combine them. Edio. What does that mean? Editing takes a long time, at least for someone of my skill. And I also have a separate life, which we won't talk about here. Just kidding. No, you know, I've got like jobs and things. But anyhow, life as well. I'm so happy to be back. Thanks for watching State of Play, and yeah, let's get right to it. Last time I left you all, I was playing Mass Effect 3, and I was just about to start Spelunky. And I have to talk about Spelunky, especially since we just did that interview. Well, I should say back in June we did the interview, but we just got released. Man, if you didn't play Spelunky this summer, do yourself a favor and get it. If you did play the game or have been playing the game, you know, just skip ahead a minute and you don't have to hear about it again. But what a great freaking game. It's a roguelike game, meaning that it's heavily involved with randomized dungeons. Basically, it's a little, I shouldn't say little, but it's like a cute, old school looking 2D platformer where you descend into these caves, much like Spelunker, which is you know, where a lot of the basic ideas come from. I mean, a guy exploring caves, you know, climbing up ropes and avoiding ghosts and things like of that nature. But what makes Spelunky so amazing is that it's randomized every time, so you play a different level each time. And you know, a lot of the building blocks are the same, but you're never going to play the exact same game. And it's just such a challenge for old school gamers. You only get one life. You get a couple, you know, you get a couple health hearts, but those go away quickly. And there are plenty of things that take off more than one heart, and there are plenty of spikes that'll kill you instantly. So, among other things. But what's amazing about the game, and what Derek talked about in his interview, is that you really do get better at the core mechanics over time. As opposed to just memorizing a game, you really are memorizing how to play. And it's not about just exactly repeating the same button combinations over and over and over. You're learning how to deal with different situations on the fly, which is what makes it such an amazing accomplishment. My hat was off to them. I played this game incessantly, much to the chagrin of my girlfriend, who heard me screaming from the other room millions of times. You will get frustrated with this game. It is extremely challenging. You can play for, you know, 30 minutes and be having a perfect game with just the right items to get you to the end, and suddenly you make one small mistake that sets off this chain reaction that kills you before you know it. But that's also what makes the game so exciting. The risk versus reward inherent in the game is so spot on. I know I've had contemporaries at GameCritics.com, who I write for, who did not like the game. They thought that it was just too much. But for me, it was a supreme challenge and something that I could literally get better at as I played, not just through memorization, but through actually mastering the game's design, the game's controls. So it's probably my favorite game released this year so far, so do yourself a favor on Xbox Live if you have an Xbox and get the game. It might be coming to Steam later this year, the new revamped version, but if you want to pay nothing, you can get the old school unenhanced version. That's pretty much the same game that's on PC as freeware right now. Moving on, here we go. What's next? I have a little cheat sheet here because I'm not perfect. yeah, Mass Effect 3, I finished it. I won't do a review. There's not going to be any mini review this week. No time for that crap. Mass Effect 3, great game. I love Mass Effect, I love the formula. I didn't play the multiplayer, don't really care about that. I wasn't interested. But I love the series so much, and it was a nice send-off. Like, very touching, you know, the same great action, more streamlined. It was great. The ending was even fine too. I wish it would have been longer. I haven't seen the extended cut ending yet, but I really liked the way that the ending happened. It was really cool. My one complaint that I had after I talked to my friend Tarek, who, God bless him, he totally infected me with his idea after he gave it to me, but he took issue with the fact that the end of the world was happening from the beginning of the game. And you know what? Once I thought about it, I totally agreed with him. It was a mistake for them to put the attack from the Reapers at the very beginning, because it made all the silly, you know, optional stuff like scouring the galaxy for, you know, minerals or whatever the fuck. Excuse my language. Goodness, sorry. It made scouring the galaxy, you know, seem totally superfluous, you know, and normally we're happy to do that as gamers, I think, do all the little side quests and stuff, but under the blanket of this world or universe ending catastrophe, it seemed a little silly. I feel like they could have set up the imminent invasion, and then 3/4 of the way through the game, or 2/3 of the way through the game, made the Reapers happen, and then from there, it's just, you know, the story would just barrel through toward the end, you know, towards the end. But as it was, it seemed a little odd to have it at the beginning. It just kind of took you out. It made you feel like, why would I want to do all this other stuff? But then as a completist, as a gamer completist, like, I'm wanting to do all the side stuff so I have the full experience of the game. But it just doesn't make sense. You know, it's like, it's a cognitive dissonance, what you call it. My phone's ringing in the other room, but guess what? We're doing a blog post. Baby. Here we go. Moving on. Mass Effect 3 still recommended if you like the series. Yes. Oh, let's do a giveaway this week. Here's another thing, and it's a giveaway / announcement. If you didn't notice before, I am also an actor here in California, and I did my very first video game voice work this year. Very proud of it. Although I haven't heard it all yet, even though I know, you know, I recorded all of it. I haven't played the game yet. It's Guild Wars 2. I played a male Sylvari player character. So if you play the game and you choose to be the male Sylvari, which is the you know, tree elf, you'll hear my voice.
25 years ago, my people first appeared in Tyria. The pale tree flowered, and the firstborn awakened. The dream contains my race's memories. We gain awareness here, and then awaken into the world. The dream fills me with knowledge, and is my connection to others. It is my inspiration, my guiding light.
So do it. Do it. If you want to win this attractive and stylish Guild Wars 2 ball cap, write me at Brandon at stateofplayshow.com, BRANDON at stateofplayshow.com. Just say, hey, congratulations on the gig, and I'll do a random drawing, and if you want to win this very attractive Guild Wars 2 hat, I'll send it to you, because I don't really wear ball caps, or I don't really wear hats much at all. I don't wear hats at all. So there you go. What am I going to do with it? You might as well wear it if you're interested in wearing it. So write me. And we'll do a drawing. Okay, moving on after that. What am I playing right now? I'm playing... Oh man, this is going to be a hard sell. It's going to be an interesting sell. I'm playing Risen from Piranha Bytes and publisher Deep Silver on the Xbox 360. Risen, you say? Maybe you've heard of this German, I think it's German, RPG before, action RPG. I won't say too much about it. Brad Galloway from GameCritics.com recommended it long ago, and it's been sitting around in my to-play pile. So I picked it up a few weeks ago, or last week, and I gotta say, I'm really enjoying it. They didn't have a lot of money to build an amazing graphical world. The graphics are even crummy for 3 years ago when it came out. I mean, sorry guys, but it doesn't look the best. But you could tell that they really cared about crafting a real world. It really does feel like it's a real landscape, which I totally admire. But aside from that, I also like the way the story progresses. There's not a lot of hand-holding. And I think from the beginning you can go to like 2 or 3 different main areas and play out a series of quests over those areas. It's either 2 or 3. I know it's 2, but I can't remember if there's a definite third one. And that totally affects how the rest of the game plays out. So it's really interesting. You get to kind of choose your own way, and they don't really give you a lot of direction as far as like how it goes. And I found myself wanting to be a mage. But you can't just like say, I want to learn, put a point in magic, and then suddenly you learn spells. You have to like actually find the people who are going to help you learn magic, and that's like a whole side quest. So I decided to like start building myself as a person who could use magic. But it took me like 10 hours to even get my first spell, because you have to like actually go and actually find the people who can teach you the magic and learn the magic. I think, you know, like I was really praying that the magic would work out, and the magic is fine. Just like the fighting is fine. It's not revolutionary. But what makes the game so cool is that they don't hold your hand, you know, with explaining how to do things exactly. You kind of just have to discover a lot of it for yourself. And I found myself, you know, torn between these 2 factions, neither one of whom is, you know, really good or bad, and kind of making these morally weird decisions because I wanted to learn magic eventually. You know, I knew I was screwing over some people that I didn't want to, and I knew I was helping some people that I didn't want to. But on the other hand, like, I could have become like a ruthless fighter, but I'd have to kind of work with both sides to do that. You know, kind of like help the bandit people, but then screw over the sort of policey, magey people. But you know, sort of get their help a little bit too along the way. It's really cool. Like there's not like a good path or a bad path of the game, which I think is really awesome. Something that I think happens in the Witcher series, which I haven't played, but we'll definitely get to eventually. Yeah. Okay. So a couple more things. Oh yeah. A couple more brief things. Big Picture on Steam is in beta right now. So cool. I mean, what can I say? Valve is amazing, and I think that they are they're hijacking the whole console experience just like that, you know, for people with PCs. Like, and God bless them, they're so awesome. I recently tried it out on my computer, and it works like a charm. You know, I like using joypads and stuff, so if a game has native joypad support, it's really easy to just plug in your controller and boop, 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 and you're playing on your TV, which is awesome. Some games don't do that automatically, which is, you know, kind of a drawback. You have to kind of figure it out, which is, you know, the reason I don't really play a lot of PC games. Like, I like the console experience. Turn it on, start playing, blah, blah, blah. That's another thing. Finally, yeah, Tokyo Jungle comes out today on PSN. Yeah, well, it's not on PSN yet, which is weird because it's already noon in LA and it's not out yet. Although today's the release day. I don't get it, Sony. What are you doing to me? First I turn on my PS3 and I have to do a system update, and then I can't even find the game that I want. Sony! PS3 means probably system update times 3. It's a good joke. Okay. Tokyo Jungle looks amazing. If you haven't seen it, it's supposed to be out today on PSN for 15 bucks. Looks like a weirdo, post-apocalyptic, play as animals after humans are gone in this crazy world. So you can play chickens or rabbits or lions, and you're trying to mate and fight for food, and it looks insane and like a lot of fun. Looks like it's right up my alley. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that, and I've already heard from Brad over at Game Critics that it is stellar, so I can't wait to get my hands on it. Check it out if you haven't heard about that one, and if you were looking forward to it, early reports seem favorable. Yep. So anyhow, we'll see you next week. We've got some cool stuff coming up next week. We have our interview with Edmund McMillan of Super Meat Boy, The Binding of Isaac, and yeah, recently his story was on Indie Game the Movie, which is a totally worthwhile film if you haven't seen that yet. Highly recommended. We had this interview with Edmund a couple months ago, and it's probably the most personal interview we've had so far, so I think you're going to like it a lot. Come back and see us next week. Thanks again for watching. I love doing this stuff, and I hope you guys enjoy watching it. We'll see you soon.